वेक्टर एनालिसिस और रास्टर ऑपरेशन मैंने लास्ट टाइम भी आपको बताया था कि वेक्टर एनालिसिस इज सिनोनियम ऑलमोस्ट टू द रास्टर operations. What we do here that we are dealing, manipulating, processing the data within a layer or among the layers. That is what is the meaning of this analysis and raster operation, vector analysis and raster operation. Since these two are different spatial model of data sets, these are two different spatial sets of data model in GIS, vector data model, or you can say vector spatial data model and raster spatial data model. You could say that, but these are having two different formats to store the data, different way of storing the data, different way of retrieving the data. So their operations, their analysis are also a bit different. We need to understand that which data model, spatial data model is more suitable for our analysis. So what we need to understand that which need to be created during our GIS application building, that we should we build the raster data, should we go for the vector data. So that is what is the important thing here, that in the raster operations we have seen that the operations within a cell, we have seen earlier to that we have seen simple display kind of thing, that the point can be displayed like this using the cell value, and many cell in a row, a line can be created, and then a group of cells give you a sense of area. So that was like a display. Then the operation within a cell. Then we have seen the neighborhood analysis, that neighboring cell, how we can use the neighboring cell to simplify the data, to smoothen the data which has been captured through the different modes of data creation. Then we have seen that extended neighborhood operations. Then we have seen some journal creation of zones and their operations. So many different operations are possible in raster. Likewise, there are many other things are possible in vector which are not similar to the raster. We are going to see that what is possible in vector spatial data model, that how could we really do the juggling between the different layers, different data sets. So let's begin with the vector analysis. So this slide, you might have gone through these points. Basically, these are important thing here is the vector analysis can be carried out using both spatial and attribute data. So spatial, which is visible onto the screen like a polygon. But what is the polygon? Like it's a village. So what is the area of village? What is the population of the village? How many hospitals are there in the village, or how many schools are there in the village? So related to that polygon, we are having also the attribute data, means the tabular data. So the tabular data, the analysis also possible. And generally this spatial analysis, vector spatial analysis is done to manipulate the attribute data or retrieve the specific attribute data, so that we could create the tabular fields, tabular values, and that those tabular values can be used by the local bodies or by the departments or by the private agencies, like that which area is having more corona patients. So that is a very much GIS application, and it's easy to use GIS on it. And by using the vector data, say Gomtipur is having more or Kalupur is having more corona cases, and where and the exact location of these patients. And this Arogya Setu app is also using GPS technology to trace the patient or corona patient. When you are keeping your GPS on in your smart mobile, and that Arogya Setu app is installed, then you are being traced every time. It's good that that if any infected person come in nearness or in contact, say within 500 meter or say 200 meter, then there would be a bip 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 sound in the Arogya Setu app. So this is the use of this technology in Arogya Setu, GPS and clubbing GPS into GIS. So that is nothing but a buffering kind of analysis, and it does automatically. We need to understand how to do this. So what is the use that we retrieve? We take out the attribute data also. The third point, which is it says that vector analysis functions are limited compared to the raster analysis function. Why? This is because raster has been explored more. Raster files are available totally, means you can take a photograph or digital photograph and it creates a raster file, raster database, like you are clicking with your smart mobile. So that is a raster image. When this camera or the sensor onto the satellite, when it captures the image, that is a raster image. But to create a vector image, a vector file or vector layer, it takes a lot of time, and also the resources, monetary resources going into creation of vector data. Vector is an expensive kind of thing, but it is more useful compared to when precision is required, when area is less, when you want you want to work like 99% accuracy kind of thing, then this kind of data is preferred. The second thing is that when you are working on 1:1000 scale map, or 1:500 meter, 1:500 map, then these data are like very useful, handy, and very precise. When we are calculating, we are using 1:20,000 or 1:50,000 maps, like whole district, whole state, and then we are doing this certain kind of modeling or data analysis. Then in that case, the raster data is the only answer, because creating vector data in that case is difficult for such. Though nowadays the data of whole Gujarat state in vector formats are also available, for that matter, for whole India. Whole India, you will find that the data in vector formats are also available. So this is just a comparison that how the things are. Spatial query means we are just checking, testing, or checking up with point, line, and polygon. Say we are looking what is being visualized on the screen. But non-spatial means we are working onto the attribute data, tabular data. Use the attribute database to select features that meet certain criteria. Select the villages in the block that have at least one primary school. Means one village having at least one primary school, we need to select. So rest of the villages, if can be considered for new primary school, and those who are having primary school can be given funds for the middle school. So that kind of, if bank is not there, then so non-spatial query on a single layer is also a kind of analysis, vector analysis, because all the spatial layers in vector data carry the attribute data in such large volumes, this is one of the example here. You could see on your screen that this is a kind of, you could assume as a district, 10 to 0 to 10. So from here to here, almost 100 kilometer, and these are all like post office green, and post office, these are the post office, bus stand, PCO, bus stand, PO. So these are having different blocks, or say villages having certain facilities, and with say gray data, gray means no data is available in these blocks or in these polygons. So these are political boundaries depicted here and created using the polygon layers. All the polygon, there are hundreds of polygon here with different set of values and facilities available into them. Now we have seen so many operations on onto the raster data. Today we are going to look into that what we could do onto the operation on the vector layers, two layers, when we do certain kind of analysis onto, then what is possible. So what is important here is that the two layers which we are dealing should share a common coordinate system. The coordinate system, like there are many coordinate system available in all this GIS software. If the coordinate system are different, then to match them one above the other while performing the layers is difficult. So both layers should have with the same coordinate system. So we can relate them, we can process them. So that is one of the important. They can be overlaid, they can be combined to form a new layer. New table gets generated showing how these layers are related to each other. That is what we could overlay, and we could combine. In clip and erase, you will see that even we are not combining or just overlaying, and we are extracting the data, a simple overlay kind of thing, that when we are overlaying a layer, input layer is point layer and the polygon layer is overlaying onto it. What does it mean? That first there is a layer with database layer, which is input layer, or you could say that this is your layer. Now you are overlaying the second layer to generate the third. So input layer is a point layer, polygon layer is overlaid onto it. Then output layer is something like this, that this input layer is getting divided into two. It is holding 2 points, 1 and 2, but the polygons, this attribute that this belongs to point 2 now belong to A polygon, and point 1 belongs to B polygon. So this is output layer created. So it's a very simple, it appears simple when we are doing the large data. This is only two data in one layer, two data in the second layer, and third output layer. So this seems easy, but there are like hundreds of database. I have shown you one layer in initial, that how many layers are there, how many data. So this is one layer, another layer would be there. So when you club this, then there are thousands of such polygons going into. So that is what is the important thing. Then second, if you insert a line, input line is this. This is line in polygon overlay. This is a layer, this is second layer, and this is going to be the output. That this line will get split into two parts. One would become 1A, the other part would become 1B. 1B is falling into polygon B. So this attribute is changing. The new table is having new shape file. This is new shape file, and also the attribute table would be different. A new attribute table with these features. Now this is very important analysis or operation in the vector analysis. What it does, that it operates on two layers. A new polygon layer is created by overlaying features from the two input polygon layers. Mind it, here both the layers are polygon layers, and what happens, I show you directly into the sketch, because it will make you more comfortable in understanding that how the union takes place. So union, suppose the first layer is this, the second layer is this, and third layer, which is output layer, would be like this. Union means we are combining these two. So what is written here, that union makes a spatial join. They are joined together spatially. They are joined together spatially. There is nothing kind of you are deducting or removing or erasing or deleting. It's not like that. Only there is joining of two things. So everything is joined. Now here in this first layer, there are two things, IDs, 1 and 2, and soil 1 and soil 2. Here for this layer, there are two IDs, 1, 2, slope 1 and slope 2. When you you combine these two, make run a union operation, then the third layer would be created like this, that with 4 IDs are generated, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the data table, soil 1, slope 1, soil 1, slope 2, soil to slope 1 and like this. So this whole new insight will come to you that there are 4 new polygons having different attribute values. So there are thousands, there could be thousands such polygons in the output layer. Now we are going for intersect. Intersect, I'll show you through again the images that when this is the one layer, again I show you why this is intersect. It is an overlay operation created by overlaying 2 layers. Which layers? A new output layer is created. Layer 1 can be point or line or polygon. In earlier, the union both were polygon layers. Here, layer 1 can be point, line and polygon, but layer 2 is always a polygon layer. While working in the GIS and vector data, suppose you are working, sometimes you would say that intersect is not working on this. So there are some restrictions like this, that layer 1 could be this only, layer 2 this could be this only, then a particular operation is possible. So here the possibilities are mentioned here, that layer 1 is possibilities, layer 2 possibilities, and output layer would be like what is the input first layer. So this is output point layer like. So here both the layers are polygon, so output is also a polygon, and intersection means you know this set theory, the intersection part comes out, but it keeps the data set of both of this and this, but the area which is visible here is this. Likewise, if I go for symmetrical difference, this is also an operation. This is also an operation. In the first operation, you have seen what union, both were clubbed together and having all the areas, regions into the output layer. Here, symmetrical difference, when you club these two, then the common things has been taken out and the rest of the things are like appearing onto the output layer. So depending upon our requirement, what we need into the output, we run the operation in the vector analysis. Now it can be represented by that A union B minus A intersection B. So this is what is the presentation. This is A union B, which we have seen the first, second was the intersection, and third is this symmetrical difference, means first minus the second gives you kind of output this here. This is identity polygon, and very interesting, you look at the sketches here, that when layer 1 is this is called the identity layer, and the third generated layer is like this. What is here? The output layer, you look at that this is not kept. This identity layer, the portion of this whole is kept into the output layer, but here, which is not common, is been erased. So the output layer contains all the features of layer 1. Those portions of layer 2 which overlap are kept here, and these are the nodes created in the output layer. So overlay operation, all 3 operations, union, intersect and identity, create new layers and new topology gets built. Topology, I have explained you earlier that this is relationship between that which point is onto the right side of the line or right inside the polygon or outside the polygon. That kind of information is stored in the attribute table. So that kind of topology in the output layer, it gets created new topology. That is what is the meaning. All the 3 operation, union, intersect and identity, create new layers and new topology gets built. Attribute tables are updated. The attribute table contains items from both the input layers. The attribute tables contain items from both the input layers. Are you getting? Even in the previous, in this, there are things which are from layer 1 here, and here from the layer 2, and likewise in the previous slides operations. Therefore, all items from the input layers attribute tables are written except for the geometric measures, which I have mentioned, that if intersection or their kind of updating or